Wholeness, welcome to my channel. My name is Rashida Silvertree. May this message find you well and whole. So again, thank you so much. I feel so happy and grateful that you're tuning in, and may you receive this act of service of insight for your current path. So, this is yet another video on forgiveness. I actually noticed that people were tuning in more to my Rise of the Matriarch videos than forgiveness, and I knew that would happen because with forgiveness, it's a very unpopular topic, but it's something that I find is a necessity as part of the the rise of the matriarch. Mothers must know how to forgive, okay, with open arms and open heart. There's always this openness, right? And so only through forgiveness can we truly liberate ourselves from our limitations. So in today's topic for the forgiveness series, I wanted to be a little, I'd say personal about this. So this morning not even in meditation yet, I just woke up and I felt incredible, like this angry. Like I felt anger. I felt the frequency of anger, and that I was supposed to do something. I was supposed to go out and do. Even you see that? That's remnants of how I was feeling this morning. Like I just, this aggression. And so I sat in meditation. I'm like, oh my gosh, where is this coming from? And it came from a past hurt, a past wound that I'm processing right now in my life. And I sat in prayer and and through a verbal, prayerful release, I was able to process that emotion fairly well. And we all, what I really wanted to get into is that it's okay to feel the frequency of anger. I work in an environment in healthcare where a lot of my patients go through a lot of their diseases and illnesses and imbalances. There's tons of inflammation of the pancreas, inflammation of the bowels, inflammation of the skin and rashes, inflammation of the heart, inflammation of the brain, inflammation of the blood vessels. I mean, it's anger is that fire element that's a little out of control. And, when we embody anger, it's very volcanic. It's very, it's very eruptive when it's not, when we don't allow the emotion of anger to, if we don't give it a channel or a pathway, it just bursts out like a nasty zit, okay? Like a volcano, like a burst of a frozen pipe, and that water has nowhere to go, and it just bursts out, and it breaks through the screws, and it gets everywhere, all right? It creates even more destruction. And so this morning, rather than automatically just reacting or I took the time to just sit with myself in prayer, just with spirit and with source, and just speak it out. For me, processing is very, very important because according to Western astrology, Aries is my moon sign. And so Aries is very, eruptive when it comes to getting angry or emotional, but then we're calm. Like we'll get it all out, we'll erupt, and then it's like we're very good with forgiving and just moving on after we allow that out. But our temper is it's not short fuse, but it's like a build up. And so when it comes to forgiveness, you're going to have these moments where, okay, yeah, I'm getting it, I'm feeling it, I'm all right, I'm releasing, that's good. But then sometimes you'll just wake up and you're like, what in the heck? Where is this anger coming from? Ew. And so it's your choice to, a lot of the time we'll call up a friend and we'll share or some of that fire energy, that anger with them, and complain, or we'll bump into somebody that we kind of don't like, and we just let them have it, right? Or wherever the source of the anger, the person that we're mad at, we just want to and just let them know how we feel. But first, the most important thing is to sit with the self. I'm all about self-mastery. I'm all about the self, because that's how you can become selfless. When you become selfish, you're going inward. I think the word self-centered is misused quite a lot. Self-centered, when you're centering the self, you're tuning into your own emotions and you're seeing what's there, right? A lot of the time when we're selfish, we suppress anger, we suppress our resentment, we suppress these little bursts of flames, okay, little sparks, and we keep suppressing. And when you do that, that eruption can be very destructive. And so, tying this back to forgiveness, when we give anger a healthy, safe space to just be, whether that's, you go out and, because sometimes you want to avoid doing physical things when you're angry, right? It's not always the best thing to go driving when you're incredibly angry, or to do, fix something, that takes focus when you're angry, because you can overdo it. It's all about overdoing. But from what I'm discovering is that with forgiveness and feeling angry, even though that could be righteous anger, creating a safe space for that type of emotion to just be, right? And I think that through creativity or writing or talking to God or praying, those types of things can really help quite a lot. For me, sound alchemy is huge. Chanting, praying, praying through difficult emotions can most certainly help. And here's one thing I really want to bring up about forgiveness and the emotion of anger. A lot of the time, we feel like in order to forgive, we can't be angry, right? But anger, and one of those, the anger is should be felt, but it should be dealt with. And sometimes the person or the situation that you find yourself that's really making you feel angry, or that's triggered you into the space of anger, sometimes that person needs to hear it. Sometimes someone needs to be there, to see the wrong that they've done. But a lot of the time, I'll say that creates more destruction than healing, if you will. So again, therapy can help. That's an incredibly powerful, safe space to release anger. But what I wanted to say about forgiveness and anger is that a lot of the time it's like, okay, all right, forgiveness means embodying this perfect, peaceful person that no longer is bothered by anything, and they just moved on and they're just ascending beyond the lower frequencies. Listen here, that can really, really be very damaging. I think you have to allow yourself to feel anger, sadness, resentment, jealousy, all these very difficult emotions that get stuck in the body. Like, I see it where I work, like years and years and years and years and years. You find yourself in a toxic relationship, a family member, or a marriage, or a child, or a job, and that creates chronic illness, right? Because that anger has nowhere to go. You're not talking to a therapist. The people that you trust the most, you don't trust them enough to share that type of emotion with them. It has nowhere to go, so it harbors in the body. And that's one of the ways with, the lack of forgiveness, anger can cause disease and imbalance, and even psychological imbalance, right? There's rage. There's some people that have so much anger in them that it can only go out. Like, there's no ability for them to just sit with it and to process it and to integrate it. The only way for them to feel validated is if their anger hits and touches and stabs someone else, right? That anger has to hit someone, at their core, and then they feel like, okay, fine, I've released, but they haven't released, because all you're doing is perpetuating a destructive behavior, lashing out at other people. So what I'm learning is when I wake up in the frequency of anger, I need quiet time. I need space. I need a very meditative, safe space in order for me to speak it out. Just speak it out, get it out, say what I need to say, and then follow up with a nice release ritual or a prayer that can, neutralize that type of frequency. There's all sorts of things that I do, but, I just wanted to share that with you. I don't, I, this is just crucial, I think, because I see what takes place when there is long-term anger. Literally, like, you program, like, your body becomes programmed to hold the anger, and that causes so many medical issues in the long run if left unchecked. So check yourself out. When you're feeling frustrated or resentful, okay, that's being stored in the body. Okay? When you're feeling like just annoyed and frustrated, that's being filled somewhere in the body, that's being stored. Okay? That's being stored within the body, and your feet and your body, your muscles. You can feel the tension, right? So it's important to create a very healing and open and safe space that can withstand that when you choose to process those emotions. So thank you so much for tuning in to my channel. There's definitely more to come. Take care.